Let's get to our stock of the day, because when Henry was last on the program, he said that he was hanging out for Friday to see what happened with the Zip quarterly result today. And guess what? It is the best performer on the 200 in percentage terms so far after it upgraded its full year earnings guidance after a strong third quarter. Cash earnings came in at a record $65 million, up over 40% year on year, while operating margins expanded nearly 20%. Zip now expects full-year cash earnings of at least $260 million, up from earlier guidance. Net bad debts remain steady at 1.86% of total transaction value, well within management's target of between 1.5% and 2%. So, Henry, I will start with you on this one.
Yep.
You know, you've stuck by Zip through thick and thin, so to speak, and you were waiting to see these quarterly results. Did they meet your mark?
They do, yes. I have stuck by this one through thick and thin, and it's certainly more thick than thin recently, as it got down to some pretty nasty levels. But stuck with it, 15% up today. Interestingly, there is 159 million shares of Zip shorted at last count. 12 and a bit % of Zip shorted. What I was looking for in these numbers was the bad debts, which have come in pretty much as they were last time, 1.86%, which was ahead of market expectations and to some extent some fears out there in the market that it could push up to around 2%. And what we saw with Zip, it had been experimenting in the US in terms of new products coming along, and as a result, let's say that the people that were doing the Zips weren't particularly good credit risk, so we did see those bad debts start to push higher. The good thing about management is they are disciplined and they can pull back on these levers if they need to, in terms of making sure that they don't promote these kind of products as aggressively as they did. We did get total transaction value in the US 2.1 billion US, which was good as well. Active customers up 9%. And what is interesting as well is that it is cheap compared to its peers like Affirm, like Sezzle, like Klarna, and XYZ as well to some extent, because that's the old Afterpay. So based on the numbers this morning, Zip is trading on about 8 times cash EBITDA, not EBITDA, and the others are trading significantly higher. Affirm is on 24 times. So, you know, there is a lot of runway here, and 159 million shares shorted. It's up 15.4% today. If it dropped back towards $2, $2.10, for whatever reason, I would be a buyer, and I'm continuing to hold. It's been a rough ride, but you know, that's the nature of the beast sometimes.
Sorry, can you just repeat, where would you buy it under?
If it got back to around $2, $2.10, then I'd be a buyer there. It's $2.36 at the moment, so it doesn't show much sign of that, but who knows what happens in this market. War could break out again tomorrow.
Well, let's hope not. All right, Adam, Zip, what do you make of it?
Yeah, I'll echo Henry's comments around that $2 to $2.10. That'll fill the gap. If we're talking about some technical side of things, that is the place to buy. I sold some clients out at $2.50 on the open today, which is fantastic.
Genius.
Yeah, it was champagne broking, I can tell you. So I think any kind of pullback back to that $2, $2.10, I think is a really good mark for it as well. Henry gave the glowing side of it. I'll give it sort of more of the other side, which the market could have really focused on, and it would have been a different story. But the active users in Australia and New Zealand, now we are the mature market versus the US, which is the growth market, but those active users were down negative sort of it was around closer to 4%. So they are sort of losing some of those customers here in the Australian market. And certainly that bad debt, and that's why I think the stock rallied so hard, as that bad debt was under control, and that's what the market, and gave comfort for a lot of investors as well. But overall, I think, it was a really good result. And the other side of the negative side of it is that we've seen a lot of evidence labs going through about web traffic or website traffic for all of the buy now, pay laters. In fact, all of the other buy now, pay laters have seen increase in their Google search ratings. Zip is the only one that has gone negative. So again, don't want to take the shine off it, but there are some of those things. It's a buy from me. here. I've liked it from
Sorry,
30.
buy between $2,
Yeah,
$2.10. So not
two.
today.
Not today,
You
but
sold
no,
it,
it's
yeah.
certainly a buy. I still hold it myself, and I've ridden it from 30 cents to $14 and back all the way back down again. So yeah, I really like the story.
Okay, got it. Thank you guys. So that's a hold for Zip today, but you heard where these guys would be looking to add to their positions because they're both in it already.